my lovely stitchy friends. This is Mika back with my fourth Flosstube video. How are you all doing? Long time no see. I hope this update finds you in good health and enjoying lovely summer weather if you are in the Northern Hemisphere like me. I haven't done a video for a very long time. I looked it back up and it's gonna be exactly 2 months tomorrow. So it was about time I did another update. The reason I haven't done an update for so long is because the past 2 months I have only been stitching on the second Heaven and Earth Designs challenge. You may remember that I told you about that one in my last video where I had just started it. And that's basically all that I've been doing for the past 2 months. So there wasn't really a lot to tell or a lot to show you. But I have managed to finish the challenge and I have enjoyed a lovely holiday in the past 2 weeks. So now I am back home, fully recharged and with lots of new stitching energy. So I thought it was time to make another video. So let's get started. I have quite a few things that I would like to show you and would like to tell you about. Obviously we're going to start with the second HAED challenge. I have also worked on my holiday whip night for a bit during the holidays. And I want to talk to you about the stitching plans that I have for the second half of 2016. And that obviously includes my first ever Mirabilia, the blue conversion of red. I started her yesterday and I am so excited about her. But first things first, the second HAED challenge. It started on April 1st and the deadline is next week, June 15th. I told you in my previous video that I was quite a bit nervous if I would be able to manage it in time and if I would be able to just stick with one project for such a long time. I managed. I did it. I finished it. Well, in 2 months I had loads of time left. So I'm very happy with that. And what I stitched was a new start, my second HAED, Hannah Lynn's Mini Celia. I stitched page 3, which is this part, with a lovely lot of blue hair. And before I show her to you, I just have to comment on the enormous amount of love that this blue lady got on Instagram. With every progress picture that I posted, you guys were pouring out love and enthusiasm for her, and that really encouraged me to keep going and to stick to one project and not let my attention slip away to my other whips. Thank you so much. I have loved the excitement that you had for her, the love for all the vibrant colors in her hair. Thank you so much. It was lovely. And here is my page finish. Da-da-da-da-da. I did it! This is a hand-dyed fabric by Crafty Kitten. It's 25 count golden rod, and that is going to serve as the background. I'm not going to stitch the background stitches. I obviously had to stitch the background stitches, and maybe you can see that here. This bit is background stitches. I'm going to rip them out. Yay! Ripping out 1/1 on 25 count. That's going to be fun. But it's just like, I don't know, 100 stitches, something like that. I had to stitch them, otherwise I would be disqualified from the challenge. So I managed, and yeah, I'm very happy with her. I'm just gonna move around to see if I can get the maximum lighting out of her. Now, this was a cross-country stitching challenge. I had never done cross-country before, and this was all new to me. So now that the challenge is finished, I look back on it and I've had very positive experiences with it and very, well, not negative ones, but disadvantages for me. My first HAED, I'm Little Blue, I'm doing her also 1/1 on 25 count, but I'm going block by block and using the parking method. And if I'm honest, I think that in the future I'm gonna try to mix the two a little bit. I have now discovered a cross-country stitcher. pure sang, as we call it here. That's just not me. So I've been weighing the pros and cons, and I've made some some notes, sorry. So I'm just gonna see, otherwise I won't remember. My thoughts on cross-country stitching are as follows. The pros of it. First and foremost, I love how you can see it coming together. I stitched her color by color by color, and that was just such a fun way to track the progress on her. I'm gonna try, if I can manage, to put a video somewhere in here where you can see the progress picture by picture, if I manage. If not, forget about it. That's pro number one. Pro number two, which is also a very important one, there is no risk of having column lines or row lines showing afterwards, which is a fear of a lot of us HAED stitchers. Third one, there is no constant threading and rethreading of the needle. You thread a color and you just go until the color's finished. And the fourth one, confetti stitches are way easier to handle, I think. You know, once I had filled in the big blocks of color, it was so much easier to spot all those tiny confetti stitches. You don't want to see the back of her as a result of that. Shall I show it? Yeah, why not? Why not? What do I care? This is the back of Mirabilia. Da, 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 da. She is a monster on the back. Can you see all those trailing threads? All these long ones are confetti stitches. And I know that I should or could probably have ended the thread and started it anew, but as I will soon mention in the disadvantages of it, I didn't want to. I just left all those threads trailing on the back. So I think she is even messier on the back than my Confetti Halpies Gaudi Gold. And that's saying a lot. So those are the 4 advantages that I have found personally of cross-country stitching. But there are also quite a few disadvantages that I ran into. First, and this was a surprise, it was more time consuming for me to stitch this way. I used for one page of Mirabilia 76 hours and 15 minutes. And I used in that page 58 different colors. By comparison, the time I used for the first page of my Little Blue was only 54 hours, so a whopping 22 hours less. And I used more colors on her, 67. Now I should mention there that the first page of Little Blue I did in 10 stitch, and Mirabilia is 1/1 full crochet. But because I did the first page of Little Blue in 2/1 10 stitch, I also railroaded my stitches. I did not need to do any railroading on Mirabilia. So all in all, cross-country stitching, even with these huge big black lines that are in her, is more time consuming for me. Second disadvantage, there was no possibility to use a waist knot after all the lines I did with DMC 310. I started obviously with DMC 310 to fill out her contours. And after that, I quickly found that there was no good way for me to use the waist knot, because I would never know exactly where the colors would go over the page. So that resulted in me having to flip over my work every time to attach the thread and then to end the thread, and that used a lot of time. The third disadvantage is that I made way more mistakes. I made so many mistakes in this piece. Not that you can see it, and not that I can even see it anymore, but I know they are there. And you only notice that later on when you start, doing the confetti stitches and filling them in. Fourth disadvantage, because I wasn't going column by column or row by row, what a lot of people do, I felt the need for gridding because I was afraid that I was going to make mistakes, and in the end I did. But one, I didn't want to bother with that due to time and thread. And secondly, I couldn't grid by pen because this is a hand-dyed fabric and I cannot wash it afterwards. And then the fifth disadvantage that I found is because of all those trailing threads at the end, at the back, I used a lot more thread that I would not have wasted in stitching column by column. So those are my thoughts on cross-country style. I am in no way saying that this is any rule or whatever, or that cross-country stitching is bad or whatever. I am definitely gonna take the good bits out of it and gonna, you know, mix them with the parking and going column by column that I do on Little Blue. But I have not become a cross-country stitcher with this challenge, and I don't think I will ever become one. But it has been a fun adventure. Let me show you to her one more time before I fold her away. Mini Celia, page 3. She is a beauty, and I've had so much fun with her, especially because of all the love that you have given to her. So thanks again very, very, very much. That was the HAED challenge. Then I did some work on my holiday whip, Night Fairy. I've been away for 2 weeks and I only stitched on night in the first week because the second week I was in my beloved Barcelona, and not only did I not want to take her to the beach and stuff and get sand on her and whatever, there was just also no time. I mean, that city is just, you know how much I love Barcelona, so, you know, I didn't spend any time stitching while I was there. But I've done a little on her in the first week of my holiday, and let me take her out and show her to you. Here's night. There you go. And if I zoom in, this is the bit that I worked on in the holidays. This bit, oh, I'm making a mess out of this, sorry. How am I going to do this right? Here we go, I think. This is a page, and this is a different page. Now, the bits here in the middle, I stitched during the holiday week. And at some point around here, I had to connect those two pages. And those pages are very old. I think I stitched this at least 10 years ago, maybe even 11 or 12. And this bit I stitched, I think, 1 or 2 years ago. So there was a huge time gap between the two. And I was quite a bit nervous to see if like the two pages would meet up here, but they did. So I was very happy with that. Also, what I noticed is that, boy, it goes so slow stitching from paper. I mean, honestly, I've stitched this in hand for, well, the many years that I'm stitching on her now. And now that I've been working from tablet for a little over a year, I have gotten so used to just boom, 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 go. And now that I had to, you know, go back to markers and a paper chart, it just went so slow. And I was constantly asking myself, how did I stand this for so long? So I am contemplating to, you know, for the remainder of her, which is going to be this corner, to just digitalize the pattern and to stitch it from tablet. I think that's definitely going to help me to finish her finally sometime in the future. And if I start her sister Day, I will definitely digitalize the pattern first, because it just went so slow. But anyway, I've had a lot of fun taking her out again. I gave her a much needed wash before we went on the holiday. So, you know, some beach and or drink marks from previous years have neatly washed out. So I'm putting her away now for the next holiday, which will probably be somewhere at the end of November, the beginning of December, when we plan to go for a little winter, autumn, winter sunshine to the south. Probably Spain. Why not? We'll see. That is what I have done for the past 2 months. Mostly the HAED challenge and a little bit on my night fairy. And now, obviously, finally, I have started my first ever Mirabilia. I have been talking to you, especially on Instagram, about this one for months and months and months and months and months. And I came home from holiday Sunday evening, late in the evening. I unpacked. I did the first few laundries. I think I went to bed at about 1:30 in the morning, in the night. And luckily I have these few days off, so I didn't have to get up early for going to work on Monday. And I've spent a huge chunk of yesterday just starting her. Finally starting her. Here is, of course, the original Mirabilia red, and I'm stitching her in a wonderful, wonderful blue conversion by Stitching Smiley at Blogspot. Will you look at her? Oh, she is just, wow. Stunning, stunning, stunning. I'm stitching this in a very loose stitch along. We use the hashtag mirasalbluered for it on Instagram, together with my friend Opal, better known as the Hyper Monkey on Instagram. She's not a Flosstuber, but she is a very frequent Instagrammer. We're stitching this one together, and if you like red in the original colorway or in a different colorway or in this beautiful blue one, whatever, feel free to join. The hashtag is mirasalbluered. There is no obligations, there is no deadlines, there is no specific goals. It is just for fun and just because we have fallen in love with this amazing lady. Now, I only did a couple of stitches on her yesterday because I spent quite some time digitalizing the pattern first and then preparing all the fabric. But here is my progress of a day. This is a 32 count Murano opalescent in the color Icicle by Crafty Kitten. I hope I can make it sparkle because it is so sparkly. I'm starting in the center, so this is somewhere here. There's only like 30-40 stitches in her, but oh boy, this is gonna be so fun. This is gonna be so much fun. So I'm definitely, once I'm done videoing this, I'm definitely gonna spend the rest of the afternoon stitching on her while this video is taking forever to upload. And then there is, of course, the rest of 2016. I know it's only the beginning of June, so technically I shouldn't be talking about the second half of the year yet, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I have by now 9 whips on the go. Blue red is my 9th, and I'm gonna start another project very soon, which is lying here on the left side of me and is just itching to show itself to you, which it will do in a second. I have by now 9 whips, soon to be 10, and I don't think I'm gonna work 10 whips for the second half of 2016, simply because that will mean, you know, I normally rotate by week, so that will mean that every 2.5 months a project will get a few hours of attention, like 5 or 6 or 7 is the average that I stitch in a week. I have decided against that, so I'm gonna break my rotation, and I'm gonna spend some dedicated time to a few whips. One of them is obviously gonna be blue red, because I know I've been longing to start her for months. Secondly is gonna be another new start that I'm hopefully going to start this week. And if you follow me on Instagram, you will already have an idea what it is. Spanish Diamonds by Northern Expressions Needlework. This is going to be my first ever specialty stitches adventure. This is such a beautiful, beautiful chart. Of course, because it has a link to Spain in it, and because there's all these blues in it, but I'm gonna surprise you now. I am not gonna stitch this just in blues. It's charted for 5 different blues, ranging from very dark to very light. And a few weeks ago, I don't know how, maybe I dreamt about it or something, I woke up one morning and I thought of a different colorway in which to do this. I have no idea where it came from, but I decided, hey, you know what? I want to do that chart, and I'm going to do it not just in blues, but in a couple of different colors. The fabric that I chose for Spanish Diamonds is another 32 count Murano by Pole Stitches Designs this time, and it's called Summer Breeze. It's a very light blue with white spots that look like clouds. Very, very pretty. And the threads that I'm going to use for those are 2 different shades of blues, 820, 995, then 2 emerald greens. This is a bit in honor of my darling best friend Sasha, because she loves emerald green. This is dark 3818 and a lighter one 702. And then I am going to add in the middle of that a variegated gold by Dinky Dyes in the colorway Aussie Dawn. Now, does that look awesome or does that look awesome? Here you go. I think that is going to make for a very, very, very pretty, pretty project. I have never done specialty stitches before, so in between this one and my Mirabilia blue red, those are going to be 2 very intense projects, I think. The Mirabilia is not per se going to be difficult, but it's going to be very time consuming because I'll be looking at the original chart and then going to the conversion chart and then picking out the colors and stuff. So stitching on her, I don't think will go very fast, and stitching on Spanish Diamonds will definitely not go fast at all, because it will be my first time stitching specialty stitches. So as a third project, I'm going to do something simple. And the one whip that I have really, really, really seriously missed in the time that I was stitching on my HAED is my giant Harry Potter cross stitch. I've not worked on him since, but because he's just so fun to show. Here you go. I have missed this bad boy badly, badly, badly. And I'm not going to give myself like a goal or a deadline, but I would at least like to finish the Hufflepuff, the Ravenclaw banner and the Slytherin banner before the end of the year. So I will have the complete top row finished. That's what I would really, really like to do. So that is going to be my third whip for the second half of 2016. And I guess that once September comes, as we say in Dutch, I don't know if that's a saying elsewhere, but as we say in Dutch, when the R arrives in the name of the month, September, October, November, December, etc., I'm going to bring my Christmas stitch back into my rotation. You may remember her, the lovely Rose Wreath by Leslie Tier that was published in Cross Stitch Collection. So those 4 are my plans for the rest of 2016. That will mean that my 2 Joan Elliott designs, my Gaudi Gold, see, that's how attached I am to my whips. I'm just completely forgetting what other projects I have going on. Anyway, I think it's good that I'm going to devote some time to less than 10 whips and focus on 3 or 4. Of course, this is not, this may change. I mean, a month ago I wasn't planning to start Spanish Diamonds, and now I am gonna start him. So, you know, this may all change, but these are my thoughts at the moment for the second half of 2016. And I'm very much looking forward to stitching these 4. Oh yeah, of course, my other 2 projects are my HAEDs. Duh! Little Blue and Mini Celia. I was going crazy thinking about them. They are my other 2 projects. You know, I think that after 2 months of solely stitching on Heaven and Earth designs, I'm done with that for now. There may be 2 other temptations coming my way, which I hope I will be able to resist, but you know, I'm not promising anything. There is a new Joan Elliott design out called Enchanted Aurora, which is just absolutely stunning. I'll try and insert a picture of it here. And every time I watch a video by the lovely cowgirl Kate, hey darling, I am remembered of her wonderful, wonderful Passione Ricamo designs that she is stitching. And we've loosely talked about maybe getting a Passione Ricamo sale going on somewhere in the autumn. But you know, that's all just, that's an idea, and we'll see about that. So there may be other temptations coming my way, but for now, I am determined to stick to these 4 whips and to just have a fabulously creative second half of Stitching 2016. So that's it for now. I was planning to do Brian C's super tag. Somehow I missed that one, and all of a sudden I saw it in Davina's, one of Davina's latest videos. I am a big superhero fan, so I should definitely do that tag, but I've been talking for more than 25 minutes now, so I guess this is enough for now, and I'll do that next time. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, I hope you are all doing well. Have a happy stitching day. I hope you've been stitching away happily while you were watching / listening to this video. And I hope to see you sometime again soon. Bye, my friends.